The Mustang Morning News is a public forum for student expression. Students make all content decisions, and opinions do not necessarily represent those of the Manhattan Beach Unified School District.
Water is a necessity in everyone's life, whether it's drinking, showering, or swimming in the ocean. But because of California's current drought, water is becoming more scarce and our pollutive actions are only making matters worse.
On today's show, we explore the details of the state's ongoing drought and how things like oil spills can affect all aspects of our life.
This is the Mustang Morning News.
Welcome to the Mustang Morning News. I'm Walker Watson.
And I'm Caden Kubler.
Get out your phones and get ready to test your knowledge because the Costa Quiz is up next.
The first person to comment the right answer and their teacher's last name on our Instagram story is the winner.
Here's today's question. From which water source does California get most of its water? The answers are A. Colorado River, B. Rain and snow, C. Lake Tahoe, or D. Groundwater.
Think you know the answer? Submit it through the response box on our Instagram story now, at Mustang Morning News.
California is currently in one of the worst droughts of its history. The snowpack, which much of the state relies on for its water supply, is dwindling, and reservoirs are at low capacity. Caden Kubler reports on what this means for Californians.
California is back in a drought 2 years after the last one ended. Governor Gavin Newsom declared a drought emergency in Los Angeles County, Southern California, and 41 out of the 58 counties in California. Manhattan Beach receives 80% of its water from the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, which receives the majority of their water from the Colorado River and the Sierra Nevada mountains. Because of low rainfall and snowfall, the snowpack is down to nearly nothing, and the state's reservoirs are at half of their average levels. NASA is now predicting that California only has enough water for one more year. But as of now, Manhattan Beach still doesn't plan on restricting our water.
We do not have currently anything on the docket to get ready to implement.
The average person uses 101 gallons of water per day. 3 gallons for every toilet flush, 10 gallons to take a shower, and running the dishwasher consumes 4 to 10 gallons of water.
But you do see sometimes just wasteful water consumptions. So it makes sense to have restrictions there.
In America, 322 billion gallons of water, or enough to fill up the Rose Bowl Stadium almost 2,000 times, are used per day. But only 12% is used by the public for things like showering and drinking. Although much of the burden of water reduction is up to big corporations, citizens can still make worthwhile contributions by reducing their water usage.
The approach is to encourage residents and businesses to conserve water voluntarily, and take advantage of the rebates, especially the outdoor landscaping and watering.
Ways people can reduce their water consumption include taking shorter showers and being conscious of when their sinks are running. Some reduction methods can even have benefits, like the rebates offered by the county for water-friendly yards. Also, installing water-friendly shower heads and toilets can reduce your water bill. Although the drought will probably continue due to climate change, people can still rally as a community to do their part to preserve our state. For the Mustang Morning News, this is Caden Kubler.
A plaque honoring the Uematsu family was dedicated and unveiled last Saturday in the Mustang Mall. The Uematsu family was a Japanese family that owned 120 acres of Manhattan Beach land, including the land of Maricosta. The family was forced to sell their land for cheap when they were taken away into a Japanese internment camp during World War II. The plaque dedication included speeches from Dr. Gerger, Mr. Courier, Dr. Bendale, and Mary Uematsu Cow, a granddaughter of Francis Uematsu. The plaque, dedicated to Francis M. Uematsu, briefly explains the family story and is surrounded by the Camellia King's famous flowers. To watch the entire ceremony or to find out more about the Uematsu story, visit youtube.com/Mustang Morning News. For the Mustang Morning News, this is Matthew Cullen.
Miracosta defeated Redondo on Friday 55-34 on senior night. The Mustangs dominated the first half, led by quarterback Casey Pavlik. The Seahawks' second half late push was no match for the Mustangs. Costa finished the season 5-5 and 3-2 in the Bay League. They faced Pacifica Garden Grove Thursday night in the first round of CIF. For the Mustang Morning News, this is Caden Kubler.
In 2015, the city of Manhattan Beach developed a list of permanent water conservation requirements in an effort to combat the nearly decade-long drought occurring at the time. These restrictions, which range from mandating that restaurants only serve water upon request, to requiring that all car washes recirculate their water for later use, were created to ensure that water still wouldn't be wasted after the drought subsided. As we are now back in a statewide drought, individual actions like turning off leaky faucets and taking brief showers are essential to preserving the precious resource. With the Mustang Morning News, this is Walker Watson.
A pipe bursted in Huntington Beach earlier this month, causing an oil spill that is still devastating Orange County beaches. This spill is causing wildlife damage and beach closures all the way down to Newport Beach. Seth Gillespie finds out if Manhattan Beach is at risk of an oil spill and what we can do to prevent it.
25,000 gallons of oil spilled into the ocean off the coast of Huntington Beach earlier last month. This oil spill caused many businesses to have to close down for the week, as well as forcing citizens and tourists to not be able to use or go to the beach. The spill also caused the city to not have up-to-par air quality for the week, and also spread down the coast, even reaching Newport Beach.
I think probably more about the effects of organisms in the ocean rather than the ocean itself. But remember, oil is going to tend to float on top of the water. And so the worry is that more about kind of the coastal and wetland areas that are impacted when that oil mass comes to shore.
The last time an oil spill ravaged Manhattan Beach was in June of 2015, and the beach had to be shut down for 2 days. The most jarring part of this, however, was that the Coast Guard did not even know where the oil came from.
I mean, I would worry more about contact with the community from water contact recreation.
Although many oil spills are caused by things mostly out of our control, people can control their own carbon footprint and unite as a community to protect our environment. For the Mustang Morning News, this is Seth Gillespie.
We have the answer to today's Costa quiz. The question was, from which water source does California get the majority of its water? The answer was D, groundwater, which supplies up to 60% of our water when rainfall is low. Find out now who won on our Instagram story.
Our newscasts like this air about once a month, but we're also busy reporting on Instagram about sports, school updates, and other events in our community.
Thanks for watching, Mustangs. Have a great day.